constructed, and I think we had 6 homes constructed out there. Then the PUD basically failed. It was bought years later in 2019 by Circleback Development. That group came in and tried to get some stuff going, but didn't do that before the vesting and approvals for the PUD had lapsed in 2021. Following that, they came in working with staff to rezone certain areas within the PUD for single-family development, because after that PUD lapsed, the zoning reverted back to vacant land. So they had to come in. It was their zone district amendment to zone certain portions of that original phase 1 as single family so they could go ahead and keep developing. What we didn't realize at that time was that Block 16 Lot 1 was not included in that rezoning request. We only discovered that when Solid Work Properties, I believe Luis Mello is joining us tonight, came to us with a proposal to subdivide Block 16 Lot 1 with the intent to have that developed in the future as single-family home, meeting the general character of what was already going on around that property. We didn't realize that the property wasn't zoned when Circleback Development came in and did that in 2021. Mr. Mello has followed all of our steps from the standpoint of the subdivision process. He's been working with us for months. We only discovered this not so long ago, and before that subdivision, which meets all of our standards, can be approved administratively, the property needs to be zoned properly. That is the reason behind this ordinance and the town-initiated rezoning. We are recommending approval because the rezoning meets the intent and the goals and policies of the town and the comprehensive plan. And Janelle and I would be remiss if we didn't also mention on the record that public notice was provided per town code. I have provided a suggested motion of approval for this, but certainly would entertain any questions you might have for me.
Anybody have any questions for Scott?
It was 4 properties to be negative, correct?
Yes.
Any other questions?
Not from the board, not from me.
Okay. Well, we've heard the presentation from our town planner about this proposed change. I would now like to ask the applicant, is that their case? If they have a case?
Your Honor, I just want to make sure the town in this instance is the applicant. We're initiating this as a town. Luis is an applicant for a minor subdivision, which is not coming before the town, but certainly some background would always be helpful from Mr. Mello.
Well, I suppose then you've given me your case.
That's correct.
I will ask for public comment in favor of the application. I'll ask for public comment in opposition to the application.
Opposition.
Thanks, sir. You're welcome to state your opposition. State your name and address.
We live at 652 Tristan Loop, and we are part of the loop. We've been there since 2016. And love the quietness. I'm 73 years old. I like the quiet all day. I've been in the state since 1960, 64 years, 40 years of teaching in different rural public schools. Came here to retire. I have a bunch of houses in this area. And others, I'm sure, that are not here. When older folks, we like to have quiet. I've been in the city all these years. I know the builders, whatever they're going to do it anyway. But I'm just voicing my opinion that I'm totally opposed to it. And they're making money. They're not helping us out. You know, that's where I come from.
Good.
Sir, what's your name?
Norwood, N-O-R-W-O-O-D.
Thank you.
Jude.
I have a question. What's going to happen with the lighting that they're doing on the across the street?
We don't have any jurisdiction over the lighting.
They're still going to build right around the line?
Pardon me?
They're still going to build around the line?
If people buy it, they build it. That's just the way it is.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Kathy Butler from I know 662 Tristan. What is, I'm a little confused about exactly what what you guys are proposing, based on what I read in the letter, that this was because apparently the vacant land, which is there, I thought our 6 houses were already deemed residential.
Yours are.
They are. If this is, you're talking more the other part of this property that's out there, that we had the whole issue about multifamily when they said single family in the beginning. Is that correct?
She's talking about the part that came to the town. We did rezone that to single family residential. Most of it, there are 2 multifamily lots that exist. You're talking on the west side over by that Stone River, where that house just went in.
Correct, and that's where.
That's already zoned.
Yeah, okay,
This is on the other side.
on the other side.
It's on the east side of Tristan Loop.
The east side of Tristan.
Yes, ma'am.
So they talking about deeming it single family home?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, because that's what the whole area was at one point
Right.
in time. I'm just trying to get the clarification right, because our whole point before was the multifamily. If it was single family on the lots that were established, that was a much better deal than having the multifamily. As far as what's gonna happen with the rest of the land, that's what I understood it to be with single family. And it's like, you're right, I don't think we have enough say against that unless
Right.
you purposely want to buy the land to keep it vacant if you want to pay for that. That's what I was just trying to make sure, that the ones we own are considered residential.
single family residential. Scott, did you say there was 6 single family residents proposed on that parcel?
No, I apologize, Your Honor, if I was going through that a little too quickly. I've got that vicinity map up showing, and it's hard to tell, but these are the 6 homes that exist on Tristan Loop today. This parcel outlined in blue is Block 16, Lot 1, which under the Stone Creek PUD originally was slated for multiple buildings of multifamily. This rezoning would allow this to be developed into 4 lots at this time, or subdivided for single-family use. So kind of matching the same size and configuration as some of these lots that exist on Tristan Loop today. That would be repeated across the street here on this parcel.
Does that answer your question?
So that's on the east side, that's
Yes.
behind on the other
It's
side.
that blue section up there.
Yeah, we face, 662 faces Mount, so we'd be on the other side. So,
Anybody else that would like to speak?
It's not gonna make a difference anyway, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I mean,
Well, I need your name.
here is the east, we've been there now 8.5 years. Hoping and praying all this time that that nice view wouldn't be obstructed with these homes. Now, I know it's every time you have a communities anywhere, any state, the builders are gonna build anyway. So I didn't know why we even have a stupid meeting, excuse French. I didn't know why you have a meeting, because why? They already decided what he wants to do already. I mean, I didn't know why we're here. I'm just trying, I didn't know where everybody else is, you know, that lives on that Tristan Loop. And I just have to be out on Monday, so here I am. But it doesn't make any sense why I'm here when they already decide what they're gonna do. And obstruct my view, that beautiful view will be obstructed with houses. And that makes sense, they all know that. They were there too, I'm like, oh, now I'm just part of a regular community like it was in the city all those years, those 40-some years, or net, 50-some. That's just my concern, but won't do it again.
Well, it always does good to show up and voice your opinion. The part you're right about is property owners have rights as well. And when it comes to property owners' rights, there's little that we can do as long as they meet all of the standard and all of the criteria that the town has set forth through the years in order to do, what they're wanting to do. I agree that, or I think the one thing that I'm happy about is I understood there were 6 units going on in there. And I guess now there's 4 subdivided to 4, which might not impede your vision as bad as 6 would. So I'm one of those that always looks at the brighter side of things and tries to find the good and things that go on, and you might somewhere down the road meet some neighbors that you really, really enjoy having. I hope that's the case.
Scott, is this more of a dotting I and crossing T's and stuff, and there's nothing imminent that anyone's planning to do in the next few months or year at this point?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to characterize this. You know, if we're proposing to rezone this, I think primarily it's in the town's best interest to provide some zoning on this parcel. Otherwise, there's no reasonable use of the parcel. As vacant land, it can't be developed. So that's a problem for the town. So this allows someone to either develop one home on this parcel or come in and propose a minor subdivision. We just happen to have this kind of reversed. Someone identified this parcel as appropriate for subdividing into 4 lots. We discovered that it wasn't zoned properly. So that does not mean that there's plans for development right now at the town. We don't have plans for development. We have a minor subdivision that meets our criteria, that's been reviewed by the town engineering firm and by me, and it's ready to be approved, which would create these lots. We just need to have a zone district in place that accommodates those lots in their sizes and configurations, and also allows for some use of the property. The single family zone district is the, you know, least dense and least intense zone district possible.
So we're limiting what had previously been approved from 6 to 4, and at this point, there are no plans.
Well, the previous approval had this entire block 16 as slated for multifamily buildings with a significant amount of density on it. That approval from the original 2006 Stone River PUD, land unit development, is dead and gone. It's lapsed. So there is no zoning on this parcel, and there's no, you know, configuring it the way that Mr. Mello is proposing to configure it through this minor subdivision. And the intent of single family would be to just allow for those 4 lots at this time.
And if we did nothing and now someone could buy this and petition to do this and everything would happen anyway.
Potentially, someone could come in and petition to zone it multifamily.
Exactly.
So
That's similar to what happened the last time, remember?
Yeah. What's gonna happen is the increase in family home is a traffic situation on I-5 and 285.
So I can address that.
Yeah.
There is actually a study, and you please pay attention in your utility bills. It's actually going out this week. There will be an announcement about a study that's being done on this corridor. If they do, the developers have to pay fees to help offset those costs for impact. So CDOT's aware of these larger developments and in contact with the developer. They will have to pay some costs to help improve the issues out there. But there is a study that is just starting, and there's this online survey that you can do, and there will be public input meetings where they want you to come out and provide input about the impacts and the traffic and the access out here between 9 and County Road 18.
So, am I right in saying that this may not be what you want, but it's probably better than what you were facing 3 years ago, from your perspective? So,
Yeah, we were here.
Go up across here. We were here.
yeah, so in other words, you could have had a bunch of multifamilies go up. Now, the worst case, you're facing 4. Probably not what you want, but it's probably better than what you were looking at.
That's the town and the town's planner trying to clean things up so that does not happen.
Norwood price again, so with Black Drive, they would have to, just like it did with 285, they would have to expand it to accommodate all the traffic that's coming out.
Well, that'll be a result of the study, guys. So,
Well, then it's really that much traffic.
This makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Versus that narrow road that's there now.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap up the public comment. Any of the board members have any questions of the applicant or staff that which the one and the same?
Nope.
I think we kind of beat that board to death. If I hear no other comments from the board, I will hereby close the meeting at 6:25, the public meeting at 6:25 p.m. And I will now ask the board for deliberation. Any deliberation? Hearing none, then I will, move to the, Fairplay, I will ask for a motion for the Fairplay Board of Trustees to approve ordinance number 2024-8 on first reading. An ordinance approving the town initiated rezoning of block 16, lot 1, Stone River subdivision from vacant land to single-family residential because the proposal meets the town's criteria and standards for approval. The floor is open for a motion.
Make that motion, Your Honor.
Thank you. A motion to approve ordinance number 2024-8. Do I have a second? Motion and second, roll call.
Eric, aye.
Frank, aye.
Pete, aye.
Okay. Thank you for coming to express and get information from the source. We always have our residents' best in mind when we try to do things like this. Government's not perfect, town's not perfect. We try to clean up as we see where we need to get cleaned up, because we don't want to repeat of what we had, a year ago or whatever it was.